Here's how California's 2026 laws could cost 1.5 million senior drivers their licenses. Did you know that over 1.5 million California drivers over the age of 70 could lose their licenses in 2026? That is not a rumor. It is a real possibility under a wave of new state laws that many seniors have not even heard about yet. If you or someone you love is a senior driver, these upcoming rules might quietly change everything, from how you renew your license to when and where you are legally allowed to drive. These are not just small tweaks. We are talking about mandatory driving tests, stricter vision and cognitive checks, high-tech car requirements, and even the risk of losing your license based on an anonymous report from a neighbor. Yes, you heard that right. One complaint could put your freedom behind the wheel on the line, even if you have driven safely for decades. Why is this happening? And more importantly, what can you do to protect your independence? Stick around because what we reveal next might just surprise you and possibly save your driving future. Change 1: Mandatory in-person driving tests after age 70. For decades, renewing your driver's license in California was a simple online process. No lines, no stress, just a few clicks. But starting in 2026, that is changing drastically. If you are 70 or older, you will no longer be allowed to renew online or by mail. Instead, you will be required to show up at the DMV for an in-person driving test. Yes, even if you have had a spotless record for years. Why the sudden change? Lawmakers argue it is about public safety. Studies from the California Office of Traffic Safety have highlighted that reflexes, reaction time, and decision-making can decline subtly with age, even if you feel fine behind the wheel. These new in-person tests will assess not only your driving, but also your response to unexpected scenarios like quick stops or complex turns, things we do not usually practice once we pass the test at 16. But here is what they do not tell you. Many seniors are failing these new assessments on their first try, not because they are bad drivers, but because they are not used to being evaluated after decades on the road. That means more retesting, longer wait times, and the risk of losing your license temporarily. The good news is that you can start preparing now. Take a refresher driving course, revisit the latest road rules, and practice in areas where you feel less confident. It is not about proving your age, it is about proving your skills and staying independent. Change 2: Stricter vision testing requirements. If you think passing a standard eye exam is enough to renew your license in 2026, think again. California is tightening its regulations and senior drivers will now face enhanced vision testing, including depth perception, peripheral awareness, and even low-light visibility assessments. These are not your everyday read-the-chart tests. They are designed to uncover vision challenges that often go unnoticed until it is too late. Why the change? Because over 40% of seniors over 70 show signs of diminished peripheral vision, night blindness, or slower visual response times, even if they wear corrective lenses. Research from the American Academy of Ophthalmology has linked these subtle declines to increased accident risk, especially during nighttime driving or in fast-moving traffic environments. That is why the DMV is getting more serious about detecting these issues before renewing a license. But here is the good news. These problems can often be managed if you catch them early. That means it is time to stop putting off those eye checkups. Make it a routine to visit your eye doctor at least once a year and request a comprehensive senior-focused vision test. Also, avoid night driving if you notice glares or halos around lights. Those are warning signs your eyes are struggling. You can even upgrade your glasses with anti-reflective coatings or blue light filters to reduce strain. Remember, these small habits today can protect your driving freedom tomorrow. Change 3: Cognitive function assessments are coming. It might sound surprising, but starting in 2026, California will begin requiring cognitive function screenings for drivers over a certain age, especially those renewing their licenses past 70. These are not full medical exams, but short assessments meant to catch early signs of cognitive decline that could affect reaction time, decision-making, and spatial awareness on the road. Even small lapses, like forgetting where you are going or missing a stop sign, can raise red flags under these new rules. Backed by research from the National Institute on Aging, these tests are designed to promote safety, not punishment. But let's be honest, it is intimidating. Many seniors fear the stigma of being judged or labeled based on a quick test. What makes it more challenging is that these assessments can vary depending on who is conducting them, and there is no one-size-fits-all standard yet. That means you could pass easily at one DMV office and struggle at another. So how can you stay prepared and confident? The answer is simple. Train your brain like you train your body. Just 15 to 20 minutes a day of memory games, puzzles, or even learning a new hobby has been shown to improve cognitive agility. Stay socially active, read regularly, and do not ignore mental fatigue. Also, talk to your doctor if you are on medications that affect concentration or alertness. Some prescriptions may be flagged in your DMV evaluation. Staying sharp mentally is not just good for driving. It is key to staying independent and in control of your life. Change 4. New cars must have high-tech safety features. Starting in 2026, California's vehicle compliance laws will require certain safety technologies in cars driven by seniors. If your vehicle does not include advanced driver assistance systems like lane departure warnings, automatic emergency braking, or blind spot detection, you may face higher insurance premiums, registration issues, or even licensing restrictions. For older drivers, these rules are meant to enhance safety, but they come with unexpected costs. According to the California Department of Motor Vehicles, these high-tech features can reduce crash risk by up to 40%, especially in aging drivers. But here is the twist. Many senior drivers rely on older, reliable vehicles that do not have these systems installed. And retrofitting is not always possible or affordable. That means thousands could be pressured into upgrading their vehicles just to stay road legal. In some cases, this could mean spending thousands of dollars or giving up your car altogether. So what can you do? First, check if your current vehicle already has some of these features. Many 2015 plus models include them by default. If not, start exploring used cars with basic ADAS functions. Look for features like forward collision warning, rear-view cameras, and lane keep assist. You do not need a luxury model, just a vehicle that checks the safety boxes. If you are not ready to switch cars, talk to your insurance provider about how your current setup might be affected. A little planning now can save you from a costly surprise later. Change 5. Insurance premiums may spike based on age and medical history. If you think your driving record is all that matters when it comes to insurance rates, think again. In 2026, insurance companies in California will gain expanded access to DMV records and select medical data, particularly for drivers over 70. That means your age, health conditions, and even prescription medications could affect how much you pay, even if you have never had an accident. Under these new rules, insurers can use health data to determine risk tiers for older drivers. For example, someone with controlled diabetes or mild arthritis might face a higher premium because of the potential for slower reaction times or fatigue, even if they have never had an incident. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, some companies are already piloting these age-based algorithms in preparation for the law changes. The result is that seniors could see premium hikes of 20% or more, even with clean driving records. But there are ways to protect yourself. First, shop around. Do not assume your current provider offers the best deal. Ask about mature driver discounts or safe driving incentive programs. Second, stay ahead of your medical care. Keep detailed documentation from your doctor showing that your condition is stable and well managed. Some insurers will consider this proof of low risk. Finally, consider installing a dash cam or using a driving app to track and prove your safe habits. Data can be your best defense. Change 6. Real-time driving monitoring may be watching you. Imagine this. You are driving through your neighborhood unaware that your braking habits, turn signals, and speed patterns are being recorded and analyzed in real time. Sounds like science fiction. But in 2026, it is becoming reality. California is launching pilot programs that use smartphone apps and in-car devices to track senior driving behavior, all in the name of improving safety. While the goal is noble, identifying dangerous patterns before an accident happens, it also raises serious concerns. These apps can monitor sudden stops, lane drifting, phone use, and even nighttime driving frequency. If the data shows signs of risky behavior, it could trigger mandatory driving assessments, restrictions, or even license suspensions without any accident or complaint occurring. According to the California Transportation Safety Research Board, these tools are already being quietly tested in several counties. So how do you protect yourself? The first step is to drive like you are already being observed, because you just might be. Practice smooth braking, full stops, and always signal early. Avoid distractions, especially phone use, and consider adding a dash cam to your car. If something ever comes into question, having your own footage can protect your side of the story. These programs are expanding fast, so being aware of how they work gives you an edge others will not have. Change 7. Nighttime driving restrictions for seniors are on the table. One of the more controversial changes coming in 2026 is the proposed time-of-day driving restriction for older adults. If passed, these new laws could limit seniors from driving after dark, especially if they have shown signs of declining vision or slower reaction times. While it has not been fully rolled out across California yet, some counties are already testing these limitations on a trial basis, and early feedback suggests they may go statewide sooner than expected. The reason is data from the California Highway Patrol shows that accident rates for drivers over 70 increase by nearly 60% after sunset. Glare, slower visual processing, and depth perception challenges make nighttime driving riskier for aging eyes, even for those who feel perfectly capable. Unfortunately, instead of offering resources or training, the system may opt for restriction, limiting your mobility and independence based solely on age or a single evaluation. So what can you do? First, get ahead of the curve. Have your night vision checked regularly and avoid driving during twilight or low-light conditions if you are struggling. Consider anti-glare lenses or glasses with yellow-tinted filters, which can significantly reduce headlight glare and improve contrast at night. And most importantly, plan your errands, appointments, and social activities during daylight hours. By proving you are a responsible, self-aware driver, you may be able to avoid these automatic restrictions when they hit statewide. Change 8. Annual medical fitness certifications will be required. In 2026, California is expected to introduce a major shift in how senior drivers are evaluated. Annual medical fitness certifications. That is right. If you are 70 or older, you may need to get cleared by a licensed doctor every single year just to keep your driver's license active. This is not a suggestion. It could become a required part of the renewal process for many. Why the change? Lawmakers argue that age-related health issues like arthritis, memory loss, or medication side effects can impact driving even when they are well managed. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that over 60% of seniors take medications that could impair alertness or coordination. Under the new rules, even a mild health condition flagged in your medical report could trigger driving restrictions, mandatory retests, or temporary license suspensions. It may sound harsh, but there is a way to stay ahead. First, build a strong relationship with your primary care physician, someone who understands your overall health and can vouch for your ability to drive safely. Keep detailed medical records and do not be afraid to ask your doctor directly, "Would you feel confident signing off on my ability to drive?" Also, be proactive about your wellness. Regular exercise, medication reviews, and managing chronic conditions all contribute to a better outcome during your annual review. This is not just about keeping your license, it is about keeping your independence. Change 9. Harsher penalties for at-fault accidents involving senior drivers. In 2026, California is tightening the rules around accidents involving drivers over 70, even minor ones. Under the new policies, if you are found at fault in a collision, you could face automatic license reviews, mandatory driving courses, or immediate restrictions, regardless of your prior clean driving record. One fender bender could trigger a chain reaction of red tape and reassessments. Why the sudden crackdown? Data shows that even small mistakes by senior drivers, like a slow response or a wide turn, can have bigger consequences in today's fast-paced traffic. And unfortunately, the law is starting to reflect that. According to the California Office of Traffic Safety, new legislation aims to reduce repeat incidents by implementing stricter post-accident evaluations for aging drivers. But critics argue it is punishing an entire age group for isolated incidents, many of which are not even serious. So how do you protect yourself? Defensive driving is your best friend. That means staying alert, avoiding risky intersections, and maintaining a safe following distance at all times. If possible, take a senior-specific driving course, which not only refreshes your skills but could also help lower your insurance. Keep a log of your safe driving habits and consider installing a dash cam. Having your own video evidence can make a huge difference in proving what really happened during an accident. It is about staying sharp and staying one step ahead. Change 10. Anonymous reports can trigger license reviews. One of the most alarming updates in California's 2026 laws is the introduction of neighborhood reporting programs, which allow anyone to file an anonymous report about a senior driver they believe is unsafe. That means a neighbor, a stranger, even a family member could submit a complaint, and you may never even know who did it. Once a report is filed, the DMV can initiate a review of your license, no questions asked. Now imagine this. You have never had an accident. You have passed every renewal test. But suddenly you receive a notice requiring a driving retest or worse, a temporary suspension, because someone claimed you seemed confused or were driving too slowly. No investigation, no verification, just a report. These programs are already being quietly rolled out in pilot areas across California and could expand statewide by the end of 2026. It is a system that can help in rare cases, but also be misused. So what can you do? Stay prepared. Keep documentation of your medical fitness, eye exams, and clean driving record. Install a dash cam to record your daily driving as proof of your safety and awareness. And most importantly, communicate with your family and community. Make sure those around you understand that caution does not mean incompetence. Your independence is valuable, and you deserve the chance to protect it with facts, not assumptions. Conclusion: knowledge is your best defense. As you have just seen, California's 2026 driving laws are not just routine updates. They represent a major shift in how senior drivers are viewed, evaluated, and regulated. From mandatory driving tests and cognitive screenings to insurance hikes, tech requirements, and even anonymous reports, the road ahead is becoming more complex for older drivers. But here is the truth. It is not about fear. It is about being informed and prepared. These changes may feel overwhelming, especially if you have been driving safely for decades. But knowledge is your best defense. By understanding these laws now, not after they take effect, you give yourself the chance to adapt, prepare, and protect your independence. Whether it is staying up to date on your vision and health, upgrading your vehicle, or brushing up on defensive driving techniques, small actions today can make a big difference tomorrow. Driving is not just about getting from point A to point B. For many seniors, it represents freedom, dignity, and connection to the world. You deserve to hold on to that freedom for as long as safely possible. So do not wait until you receive a surprise letter from the DMV. Take charge of your future now. And remember, staying safe does not mean giving up control. It means taking smarter steps to keep it.